Hey, what's going on, guys? In this tutorial I'm going to talk about typecasting. Typecasting is where you can temporarily change the data type of your variable, such as integer into floats or floats into integers. Now let's look at an example. Let's say I have a pumpkin farm and I'm going to sell pumpkin every day. Let's see how much money I'm going to make average each day. So let's go ahead and create the code for that. Now first I'm going to introduce the float data type. So let's go ahead and create float data type. In this one I'm going to put average profit. This is what our purpose is, like this is what we are going to find out. Okay, average profit. Now the next thing is I'm going to, since I'm trying to show you what is typecasting is, I'm going to combine floats and integers together. First I introduced a float data type variable. Now I'm going to introduce another one, that is integer data type. Now let's go ahead and do that. So in order to calculate the average, we need the price of the pumpkin, and also we have to know how much we sold in a week. So let's calculate like price of the pumpkin, how many it is sold in a week, and how many days we worked. So 7 days, let's say like 7 days or some days in a week, and then we can multiply the sales by price of pumpkin, and if we divide by the days in a week, that should give us the average profit for a day. So that's the equation we are going to create. Now in order to do that, first let's go ahead and create the integer data type variables. First I need to know the price of the pumpkin. So price of pumpkin, let's say the price of pumpkin is $10. Okay, the next thing is we have to know how many of pumpkin we sold in a week. Now in order to create that one, first I'm introducing an integer data type variable. So let's call this one sales, and let's say we sold 59 pumpkin. Now the next thing is we have to know how many days we worked in a week. So let's say days worked. We shouldn't leave a space whenever we introduce a variable, so we should write them together. Days worked, and that is equal to 7. Let's say we worked 7 days in a week. Now we are going to create an equation that should calculate the average profit for a day. Now in order to create that one, we just have to multiply the sales by the price of the pumpkin and divide by the days worked in a week. Okay, now let's go ahead and create that one. Average profit, that is equal to price of pumpkin multiplied by sales divided by days worked. Okay, this should give us the profit. Now in order to see that on screen, we have to create a printf statement. Let's go ahead and create the printf statement for that. Printf average daily profit. Let's put a $sign for that, and here we have float data type, so we put percentage %f for float. Now let's say we want to print this one for two numbers after the decimal point. So in order to do that, we put 0.2 f. Okay, and this should give us average profit. So we put average profit. Okay, and after that we put a semicolon. Now let's go ahead and execute this one and see what we get. Okay, here you can see average daily profit is $84. But if you use a calculator, and multiply 59 by 10 and divide by 7, it won't be a integer number like this. It won't be a full number. We are missing the decimal points because we have combined this float data type and integer data type. That's why it's just showing the integer data type and it just eliminated this float type, right? This is where we have to use the typecasting. Typecasting is basically we just put what final answer we want. So in here, if you want everything, like if you want final answer in the float, what you have to do is you just have to put this one like float in a bracket in front of everything. So here let's put float here, float here, and also in front of sales we put a float. Okay, and also in front of days worked we put a float. So now we have done a typecasting. Like now if we execute this one, that's going to give us the answer with float because we have converted everything into float. Now let's go ahead and execute. Now here you can see average daily profit, it's $84.29. But before we didn't have that because we didn't do typecasting. But you can always go ahead and create everything as like you can you can specify everything as a float data type and do this. But here I'm trying to show you what is typecasting is. That's why I have combined these like a float and integers together and showed you how you can change everything into float or integer. You can do the same thing for integer. Okay, and that's how we do this kind of things. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.